Hello, 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 beautiful unicorns. Yana Kasperczak coming to you live from Ontario as your certified professional performance and spiritual awakening core energy coach. It has been my soul's purpose to help women, to help you get your shit together so you can break free from that mental prison you find yourself in and build a business or a life or a career that you're not only proud of, but actually excited to wake up to every single day and live the life that you actually want to live, that you can't wait to wake up to as you once did when you were a child. And mindset is the biggest part of that. Okay, so today's topic that I wanted to talk about today, which worked out perfectly because this was going to be a big part of today's Sacred Circle share from my end. And I realized since it kicked me off, due to my phone dying and the hotspot no longer hotspotting me on my computer, I said, you know what? I am just going to go and turn this into a live video to share this with everyone because I have spent a lot of time being, especially as of recently being at this cottage, at our cottage, that there is, as many would refer to this as downloads, these realizations, these aha moments that come through, and they come through so quickly and so frequently. So the topic for today is the magic behind being and not doing is the art of creation and manifestation. And I'll just get right into it. So, hi Anya, greetings from Europe. She says, greetings from Ontario of Canada, where it's probably just as hot as where you are now. I hope you're doing well and everything is okay, and hope to see you soon. Okay, so the biggest, how do I want to start this? When it comes to you manifesting, when it comes to you creating your life, creating your anything that you want to create, essentially it goes into or comes from your emotions and your feelings. That's where everything is. There's a phrase that all of you know and very familiar with is, I will believe it when I see it. Whereas most of you also know that the opposite is actually truth, which means that in order for you to see, you must believe it first. And what is a belief if not an emotional state, if not a feeling? That's what belief is. There is a difference between belief, and knowing. There are things in your life that you know, and once you know something, it cannot be changed. Your mind cannot be changed about the things that you know. You can have people try to convince you that the sky is not blue, but because you know the sky is blue, no one can change your mind about it. You know your mother, you know your father, you know your kids, you know your siblings, and no one can change your mind about you knowing them. But when it comes to believing, your belief can be changed. It can be manipulated, it can be turned around, it can be twisted. Now, manipulation itself sounds like a bad word, but it's actually a good word. It's how you interpret it, it's how you see it, and also how it could be used. It could be used in the bad way, or it could be used in the good way. And you have a choice. You, up until now, have been manipulating your life and your situation where you are in a negative way. And you're just not aware of that because it is rooted in your deprogramming. And your deprogramming is not allowing you to feel the things that you want to feel. In order for you to manifest what you want, the life you want, all of that is rooted in the emotions and in the feelings. And in order for you to manifest what you want, you must align yourself with those feelings and with those emotions. Hey, Rebecca, you didn't miss very much, just the beginning of what I actually started talking about in the Sacred Circle. So you came at a perfect time. And the feeling comes first. In order for you to have what you want, you must feel it first. That's why there's so many people who talk about create a vision board, do a visualization meditation. You must visualize it. You must see it first. And this is where also your belief will start to come from. It's from the feeling. And before you know it, your whole entire life will change because you have worked on the feeling. Now, the feelings are also majorly connected to your words. When it comes to manifestation, the manifestation is another word that could be used in casting a spell. So when it comes to casting a spell, if you will, which most of you see and believe as a manifestation. So when it comes to manifestation, aka casting a spell, your feelings, your emotions, and your intentions behind that are key. What's another big point and major point when it comes to manifestation? What's involved, or what triggers your feelings? What triggers your emotions? What triggers your intentions? Words, which come through us thoughts, which are translated into feelings and emotions, which are translated into your intention. Many of you say, I want to do this and I want to do that, but your intention behind it is not actually doing it. It's just you wanting it. That's your intention. Many of you say, I want to read this book, but you don't recognize that the intention behind reading this book is I just want to read this book a little bit just to say that I read it, because the intention is not to finish and complete that book. It's just to start reading it. So recognizing what the intentions are, which are also rooted in your words that you're saying, which are also your thoughts, is extremely important. And this is, I'm word police. This is one of the things that I am very well known as when it comes to my clients and the community, which is Heal Unicorn, Emotional Healing and Spiritual Growth for Women, and then all the other things that the community offers, which comes from Empathy Unicorn Academy. Yeah, amazed, right? Anyways, so I'm word police, and having spent time with people I love tremendously, my parents, my in-laws, my friends, the women that I work with, and women that I'm connected with through all the places through Empathy Unicorn Academy, and even just simple conversations with people, I hear the language that is being used, and I can tell you what kind of a life a person is living based on the language they're using. Many people will pretend to be happy and will come across as happy, but if you hear the language they're using, you will hear how limited their life is and what kind of a life they are living. How they're trying to be happy, but they're not happiness. And this is also the difference between doing and being. Most people are doing happiness. They're not being happiness. They're not happiness. All of that is rooted in the emotion, which is connected to the words. Now, the words that I hear, and this is just a couple of sentences that I heard, and I want you to share with me how you yourself use these words, these sentences, and how you feel during and after you're using these words. And then we'll go into that in a little bit. We'll go into it a little bit. So, I have a focus problem. I can't focus on things. I'm easily distracted. How many of you can relate to this? How many of you realize that you're saying this statement, that you're speaking or thinking this? What kind of an emotional existence is this creating? Which then is connected, what kind of a life what kind of a story or stories you have within you that is creating the life that you're living. In other words, how are these phrases, these sentences continue to propel and continue to create your life as it is day in, day out, day in, day out. And yes, many of you have been told that you gotta just change it when it comes up, change it when it comes up. And yes, it is helpful, but it is not much different than just positive thinking. It's important to go into the roots and understand, where is this shit coming from? Where did you get this idea? When did this becomes your belief system? Because it's a belief system. And a belief system is not as easily changed as we've been continuously told that this is how easy it is. It is not. It's not as simple as positive thinking. And you know that because whenever someone tells you, oh, just think positive, just be positive, you feel triggered because intuitively, you know, it ain't that as easy. If it was, you've already been changed. You will spend a day thinking positively and it's all done and changed. That's not how it works. So next one, I have bad memory. I can't remember anything. You know, I will tell you, like, all of these that are in here, that was me as well. And just hearing it, I see myself in everyone. And it kind of excites me because I know what's possible. I know what's on the other side. I used to believe, and it's also these belief systems were given to us when we were little. Or throughout our life, someone tells you, oh, you're stupid, you're stupid. You start to believe you're stupid. Someone tells you you have bad memory, you can't remember anything. We got to challenge this shit. We have to challenge that. If we don't challenge that, we just accept it and we become the victims of our life. We become the victims of our circumstances. That's the process of getting your shit together. You got to challenge everything. You got to tap into that rebel within you. You have her and you love her and you love being that rebel. You love to be the person that someone tells you, oh, don't do that. And you say, fuck you, I'm doing that. I do what I want. You have that within you. So you got to tap into her over and over and over again until you are her, but in a way that serves you and those around you. Hey, Barbie. Barbie says, just dropped in to say hey, and I love y'all. Hello, Barbie. And hello to you, and I love you as well. We'll chat shortly, I'm sure. Kimberly says, good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon to you as well. Okay, so I used to say I have bad memory. You know what I did? I challenged myself. And I said, do I really, really, really have bad memory? Or is it that I just believe I have bad memory? Let me test that out. So I started testing that out every single day. That's the process of changing our belief systems. You identify your block, your belief system, and you start challenging it. You start questioning it over and over and over and over again through your emotions, through your thoughts, and then that comes through as physical proof that you start to see. So now this is how I started challenging it, and I became someone who has a photographic memory. And the way that I started practicing that was very simple. Those of you who have homes, those of you who have a partner, you have kids, this is actually a great practice that you can do and implement. It's also connected to your intuition, by the way. So I started almost like taking snapshots of all the different areas of the house, because everybody always forgets things, everybody always loses things, and it's mom who remembers all these things. And then I would be in this frantic state. I don't know where it is. I don't know what to find. I know it's somewhere, and just stressing out. Whereas, no, I know exactly where it is. Let me just go through the memory. Have you watched Unlimited? I think that's what it's called. Bradley Cooper plays this character who takes this, Limitless, who takes this he takes his pill and he instantly remembers everything, and he just has snapshots of entire, like any kind of page or book he opened. To me, that was a powerful reminder of how our subconscious mind actually works. Once you start understanding your subconscious mind, you can tap into it, you can remember anything. And that's the photographic memory, where it's coming from. So when I would be in this frantic state, causing me anxiety, when almost everything used to cause me anxiety, and now very, very few things might trigger my anxiety, but I no longer stay there. So I would remind myself that I am limitless. That the way the subconscious mind works, it literally takes a snapshot of everything and anything that we come across. An example, you go through social media and you scroll, but you only stop at maybe one or two things that you look and you read. Now, did you know that every single thing you scrolled through gets programmed and kept in your subconscious mind? Hence why you spend 5 minutes on social media and you're off of it and you feel uneasy, you feel overwhelmed, you feel stressed, you feel a lot, and you don't know why. But that's because your subconscious mind takes all of that shit and it collects it, and it's like a garbage can. Your brain becomes full of garbage, and that's why when you go to sleep, your brain, if you're also having good, proper sleep, what your brain will do is it will clean that stuff out. And if you're not, that garbage will stay there. And your attic, your brain becomes like a hoarder's brain. It's hoarded with crap that you need to clean out once in a while. And you can do that when your conscious is wearing through meditation. So the story of I have bad memory. You don't have bad memory. You just have a shitty belief system that you can change, and you can reprogram, and you can remind yourself you are a powerful, unlimited being, and you have an amazing memory. And I hear this with everyone. And I also had a horrible memory until I changed what I believed about myself, and I saw my true self, and not just saw my true self, but I accepted her and I felt her. And then now I can tell you where everything is, and it's exactly where it is. My family calls me, where is this, where is that? Well, this is where it is, and exactly the spot of where it is. And I perhaps wasn't even the person that put it there, but I walked through the room and I see someone left their shoes there, or shorts there, or keys here, or hat there, and I can tell you what's where. So, and another phrase, I am bad about doing that. You can complete these sentences. You can see how you're showing up in your life and what kind of a life you're creating. Starting your morning with, I'm tired. How many of you do this? Okay? I'm tired. I can't wake up until I have my coffee. I feel like I'm a zombie until I have my coffee. I'm just so tired and exhausted today. You know what you're doing? You're priming yourself for the day. Did you know that there are numerous studies that have been done on coffee to prove to you that coffee doesn't actually wake you up? Your belief in coffee waking you up, that's what wakes you up. Did you know that? I bet many of you, if not all of you, already knew that. But if you don't believe me, I invite you to go and look up those studies, go and read and see and understand the power of coffee and what's in it for you. It has, of course, benefits as well, advantages and disadvantages to everything. And then you have your coffee, and then most of you will actually end up crashing around anywhere between 2 and 4 p.m. That's the power of coffee as well, by the way. So now another thing I also hear, and I'm just sharing all these things that came through for me within a short amount of spam to help you understand the magic behind being and doing. And both are important. Both, spending more time being is key. And what's the example that's coming up is back in the day when we used to be hunter and gatherers, you can only visualize and dream and believe that you're going to feed your whole entire community, but that only does so much. Then you got to go and hunt, right? But most hunters and gatherers, they would spend maybe a day going and doing all those things, and then after that they spend most of the time being. And now we're living in the world that is do, and this is where our self-worth is rooted in the doing. How much did you do? How much did you accomplish? Did you get the whole entire house cleaned in one day? No? Why not? Were you spending too much time being? Right? Seeing how all of these roots are holding us rooted into where we are and not allowing us to create and rewrite our life the way we want it. So another one I hear is, and this used to be me as well, and this comes from the ego. And the ego is actually important. We all have the ego. We all need it. It's very important. But there is a time and a place for it. And you will feel more free, and you will be able to become a much more powerful creator and a manifester if you master this skill. And the skill is, don't get attached to what you say and share with people as, oh, I told you that, or I gave you that idea, I suggested that. Because here's actually how it happens. Each and every person is connected to the universe. So we already know what to do and how to do it. If someone comes to you and they're struggling with something, or they need a little bit of help with something, the best thing you can actually do, which will be the best thing for you and for them, is to simply ask questions and not give them ideas, not give them suggestions, because then when they come back and they say, oh, I came up with this idea and I did that and I did this, your ego will say, well, I was the one that told you this. I want credit for it. So there's attachment. Our goal in life is to live our life without attachments. Practice detached involvement with everything, with anyone. And when someone comes to you and you gave them the idea of whatever it was, you gave them an idea and they did it and they followed through, instead of allowing your ego to come through and try to take ownership and feel validated and feel acknowledged that that came from you, allow them to have their party, that they're the ones that came up with that. How amazing are you of coming up with that idea all on your own, and just celebrating with them because they're sharing it with you, because they want to celebrate it with you. They might remember that it was you, but it doesn't matter. They might give you that validation that you're looking for, but they will give it to you willingly without you asking for it. So the best thing you can do is ask a question. If they're struggling with something, let's say you realize that your friend is feeling really low and feeling really down, ask them, what can you do that will help you to feel a little bit better? And they will tell you. Perhaps they might tell you, I don't know. Well, think about the last time you felt like that. What did you do that helped you? Essentially, you're in a way becoming curious about them and getting to know what are the things that have helped them before. And what will happen in this process is they're going to come up with something, and it will be their own idea, and they will be much more likely to follow through on that idea. But if you've given them that that same idea, they would be less likely to actually follow through and do it. Think of yourself. When someone told you what to do, you don't want to do it. So then what? You didn't do it, so you didn't feel good. But when it was your own idea and you came up with that, you felt great, you felt amazing. And then by practicing, because this is what I wrote down. When we're speaking with someone, we're sharing something with someone, we have these thoughts, we have these ideas. It is the universe that is speaking through us. It is the universe that is giving us or reminding us of these ideas, these existences of what we can do when we're feeling low, as an example. And if you have given someone an idea of what to do and how to do it, remind yourself that it wasn't you who came up with that idea. It was not originally yours. It came from some other source. It came from someone else. You heard it somewhere. Someone else came up with it, not you, which is then the universe. So give credit to the universe. So when people come to you and you've given them ideas, you've given them realizations, and they are saying it's theirs, it is theirs. Just like as you're saying that the idea, the thought, the realization you gave them is yours. It's not yours, it's the universe. And it's not your job to prove anything to anyone. It's your job to practice and be detached from anything and everything. So that's it. I think that's all that I want to share. I also wanted to keep it as short and sweet as I can. And then the other thing I wrote down in here is we all already know what to do. Each and every one of us, we know exactly what we need to do to have the life that we want to have. What we're missing is a plan. What we're missing is a clear path of do this, and you will get here. That's what we're missing. So to wrap this up is, you know what to do, you know how to do it. You just need someone to walk alongside you to help you get there. Chances are you already know someone in your life that can help you do that. I want you to reach out to that person, connect with them, and see how they can help you get there. Hopefully, and I say hopefully because I do know there's a massive difference between when you invest in something or in someone versus you get it for free. And also the time investment as well. So even free still involves time investment. So hopefully there is an investment attached to it. And what it will involve is for you to say yes to that investment. Now, most people, and I was that person as well, have a really twisted money story. And this money story, in order for you to change it into that money story where you are wealth and you have all the money in the world, you will need to learn on what you want to spend your money on and what you don't. Your money story, in order for it to become the money story you want it needs to be challenged. It needs to be rewritten. Just like your feelings and emotions with you creating and manifesting the life you want, in order for you to change it, you need to become aware of the roots. And when you are aware of those roots, that is your opportunity to change it, to rewrite it. You are not going to change your money story by not spending money. Trust me, I can tell you, and you probably know this already yourself, and I can tell you numerous people, including myself, that try to change their money story by not spending money. But in reality, what they were doing, when you start looking at the roots, they were terrified and petrified of spending money because they spend it and they won't have any. I can't afford this, I can't afford that. And guess what? They couldn't. But instead, it's not that you can't afford to spend money on this, is that you don't actually need this. You just been told from some force, from some place, that you need this and you want this, but you don't actually need it. But there are things that you actually do need, because by saying yes to those things and following through on them, your whole entire world and life will change. And this is how you create the life that you want. Rebecca says, we have to make the decision, the agreement with ourselves that we are going to pursue or see something through. Yeah. And at the same time, recognize that there's some things that we will start that we're never meant to finish. We're just meant to start, feel it, experience it, understand it, and then realize that's not what I want. I thought I did, but I didn't. But you've learned enough that you can go on to the next one and learn and use what you learned from this previous experience. That we're not meant to finish and complete and follow through on everything. It's completely unrealistic. And when we live with this deeply ingrained belief system that comes from someone telling you, oh, you never finish what you start, oh, you never complete, it's just so typical of you. Is it? Or is it possible that you know yourself well enough that you simply don't want to waste your time finishing reading that book or finishing cleaning your closet right now, because intuitively you know something else is coming and it will make the process much easier, right? Is it that, or is it perhaps something else? And then Rebecca says, as a first grade teacher, I taught hundreds of kids how to read and write, and one girl became a children's author. Ooh, I would never take the credit for that, LOL. See, there you go. It's, you planted a seed into all of these kids, into each and every one of these kids. But one of them took that seed and made it grow into someone who she became, an author. Will she ever thank you? Maybe not, or maybe she will. Does it matter? Does it really matter? The ego will say, yes, it does. But the true you will say, no, it doesn't. Because she is her own creator. She is her own gardener. She had and picked the seeds that were meant to be for her. She watered them. She tended to them. She took care of them. I played a tiny little role by throwing a seed in the vast universe, and then she picked it up. Or otherwise, we can lose our minds by just simply thinking of all the things that we said and did, and how people are not giving us credit for all these things. And part of that is true, while the other part, not so much. Okay. The last comment. And I believe that is all, so we can start wrapping up. Rebecca says, your coaching has helped my evolution tremendously. Oh, thank you. And I'm glad to hear that. And there are, each and every one of us has people that we align with, that we vibrate with, that we connect with. And I know you would all agree, and either you already have had that experience or you will, is that there are people who are for us and there are people who are not for us. I have worked with people who were for me, and I had worked with people who were not for me. And all of us learn through first-hand experience, where you work with someone who is the wrong person for you, and you also work with someone who is the right person for you, who just speaks to your heart and your mind, and not just one or the other, who helps you to connect yourself with yourself and is at the right frequency and vibration for you. And when you know, you know. No one can change that belief system, because it's something that you know. It's not something that you believe. So, anyways, that is all that I want to share with each and every one of you today. Hopefully this was an informative story time with myself, Yana Kasperczak, that I do live on my personal page. every Tuesday at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you miss the beginning, I always recommend going back to the beginning because there's always something in there as well. Some of you were here the whole entire time. Thank you, Rebecca. I saw that Kimberly was on here, Barbie, so thank you. Kiki was on here as well. Hey, Kiki, and thank you for being on here live. She even said #live. Anya was on here as well. So thank you everybody who was on here live with me, and I saw people hopped on and off as well. I know all of us have busy days and most people are working 9 to 5. And while others don't, we all have different lifestyles, different ways of how we even break down our days and tackle the day, right? But those of you who are watching on the replay, I appreciate you as well. You can interact with everything as if it was live because you're able to actually see the comments come through as live as well. If you are interested in working with me, you know where to find me. Write in the messenger. Don't be shy, don't be scared. Let's just have a conversation and see what I can do and how I can help you, and if we are even the right fit. Other than that, until we see each other next time, or maybe we'll see each other tomorrow live on the podcast that Bethany and I do, Heal the Unicorn, which will be live in our Facebook group, Heal the Unicorn, Emotional Healing and Spiritual Growth for Women. And until then, Rebecca says, gracias, amiga. Right back at you, sister. Thank you, Rebecca, for always being on here and for being yourself and being open and honest and vulnerable. That's how we all grow. No more hiding ourselves. Until we see each other next time. Bye, everybody. Have an amazing rest of your day.